In the second episode of Lovely Runner, the story picks up where it left off. Im-sol is crying in the rain when Sung-jae comes over and shares his umbrella with her. He asks why she's crying, and she remembers him asking the same question when they met in the future. The more she remembers, the more she cries, and people start noticing. Some students think it's a love problem, so Sung-jae takes her away. They wait under a building, and Im-sol feels embarrassed, stealing glances at Sung-jae. She tells him she's a fan of his swimming, and he reminds her of her old dog, Otter. Even Im-sol finds it hard to believe her own story, and Sung-jae doesn't buy it either. He gives her back her watch, which triggers memories from the previous day. Embarrassing stuff, she said. Im-sol grabs his umbrella and runs away. Back in class, she acts excited to see her classmates, as if she hadn't seen them in a long time. Her classmates are puzzled. Meanwhile, Bok-soon is at home talking to her neighbor, Ms. Kwon, about finding a tenant for the house next door. Ms. Kwon suggests selling it and buying an apartment. At school, Im-sol struggles to concentrate, thinking about time traveling. She tries to jump again by pressing the watch button, but nothing happens. She lies about having stomach cramps to avoid a quiz, and the teacher sends her to the infirmary. Instead, she heads to Sung-jae's school. In the gym, she sees Sung-jae from afar, but is distracted by the smell of cigarettes. She finds boys smoking and is about to confront them when Tae-sung arrives, scaring them off. Tae-sung and Im-sol avoid bullies together and end up hiding. Tae-sung grabs cigarettes to smoke, and Im-sol tries to stop him, remembering her crush on him. A teacher interrupts, and Tae-sung flees, leaving cigarettes with Im-sol. The teacher punishes her by making her kneel in front of the school. Sung-jae sees her, but thinks she's a smoker. He warns her about the habit and tells her to leave since the CCTV is fake. She meets Tae-sung again, who warns her to stay out of his fights. They argue until another girl interrupts, interested in Tae-sung. Later, Im-sol asks Hyun-ju for advice on getting close to someone. Hyun-ju suggests sending a friend request on social media. Im-sol reveals she had a crush on Tae-sung but got rejected. She finds a love letter she wrote to Tae-sung and feels embarrassed. Meanwhile, Sung-jae is focused on improving his swimming and rejects Im-sol's friend request. The next morning, they meet at the bus stop, and Im-sol feels disappointed. She hopes to return his umbrella and strike up a conversation but fails. On the bus, Sung-jae saves her from falling. He denies helping her and rejects her friend request due to her being a smoker. Challenges him to smell her fingers, which he refuses. She accidentally pokes his nose, and Im-hyuk witnesses it. He tells Sung-jae about Im-sol's crush on Tae-sung. Sung-jae seems angry and learns about a swimming competition that ended his career. Im-sol decides to stop him from participating. She warns him about his arm but faces resistance. At home, Sungjae's dad discovers an X-rated movie under his bed. It starts raining, and Sungjae rushes out. Im-sol nearly gets hit by a car but is saved by Sungjae. In the epilogue, we learn Sungjae has always had a crush on Im-sol and cherishes their moments together.